Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. As you can see, my office is gutted because tomorrow I'm getting rid of the carpet. But tonight, I'm doing something much more exciting. We're going to review the Accutron Spaceview. In an upcoming video, I want to discuss the history of this watch. However, in this video, I want to get up close and personal and do a full review of it. So let's flip the camera around and take a look at the Accutron Spaceview. So here's the Accutron Spaceview, and this shipped in a basic mailing container wrapped up in bubble wrap. So I won't be doing an unboxing, but we'll be taking a close look at this beginning at the strap and working our way up to the watch itself. So this watch has been put on a genuine leather strap. So pretty generic, textured leather strap there. The thickness is great. It's nice and thin, which is fitting. It's comfortable. I haven't had any issues with it. It actually fits really well. I haven't had to swap out the buckle at all. And speaking of buckle, this buckle looks nearly identical to the one that my Russian watches shipped on. This strap isn't too bad. I will most likely swap it out for a shell Cordovan strap because that's what I do. But this one isn't bad. I may keep it on this for a while. Coming up to the lugs. These are just basic lugs here. Not much of a taper to them at all. They just kind of come out. Very utilitarian. They are not drilled. As we're looking at this watch, you'll notice, if you aren't terribly familiar with these watches, it might be surprising to you that there isn't a crown here. And actually, that is something that was new to me right up until just a couple months ago. So we'll flip it over and look at the case back. So we see a battery hatch here. There's a little bit of scrapes and stuff on this watch. This right here is actually how you set the time. And we have some serial numbers here. And you'll notice that there's an M7 there. And my understanding is that M stands for the 1960s, N stands for the 1970s. So that would indicate that this watch was made in 1967. Stainless steel, another scrape on there. Some more information. Waterproof. I'm not sure how waterproof these, or water resistant these were when they were produced. I'm guessing maybe 30 meters, but that's some research that I'm going to have to do. And I'll be providing a lot more information about this watch when I go over its history. And looking at the case sides, it is a thick watch, that's for sure. But it's so crazy looking, I don't even really notice. You see little bits of wear and tear on the case there, but not too bad. For me, it's all about the crystal and that movement. Look at that crystal. That is in excellent condition. I'm not sure if this is a converted Accutron. I can't really see any spacer in there. but it's possible. So when these came out, they actually had dials on them, and they were simply called the Bulova Accutron. However, authorized dealers and whatnot were also given space-viewed versions of these watches. And that was where they had this kind of a crystal on there, and the dial was removed and lighter hands were put on there to show off for the customers that crazy movement that is normally behind the scenes. And then, as you could imagine, customers would go into the stores and they would want the display model, the space-viewed ones. And so there was a mad rush to keep up with the demand for those. And I believe retailers were also given a toolkit or something similar so that they can convert a standard Accutron to a space-viewed one. And they would try and do that for their customers. But again, I'll be digging deeper into that when we dive into the watch's history. I believe this is printed on the inside of the crystal. I would hope. That way you could buff this out without harming that. I don't feel anything on there, and it would make logical sense to print it on the inside. But I will be confirming that again for the historical video. But look at that movement. That is so cool. Okay, so let's see what it's like to set this watch. I've had it for a few days now, and I have to be brutally honest, it isn't terribly fun. So you really have to get your fingernail in there to pry this up. And this movement doesn't hack at all. We move it here. And the seconds hand kind of jumps. Oops, and this happens also. At least for me. So my fingernails are not long enough to get this thing out. I had to edit out so much footage. But yeah, I find that if I'm not careful, that'll snap back closed. And it's kind of strange seeing that seconds hand kind of glitching like that. Fortunately, being battery powered, you don't have to set it terribly often. Then once you have it where you want it, snap that back down. Then the seconds hand will catch up to where it needs to be and start moving nice and fluidly. And of course, what review of the Spaceview would be complete without a recording of the amazing hum that this movement produces? As for the specifications on this watch, the case size is 35 millimeters, the lug to lug is 43 millimeters, the case height is 14 millimeters, the lug width is 18 millimeters. It has an acrylic crystal and a stainless steel case. And this is the Accutron Spaceview 214. So let's get the CWC off the wrist and see what the Spaceview looks like when you're wearing it. So here is the Spaceview on my 7-inch wrist. And that is super fun. It is so cool to look down and see this watch on your wrist. Oh, that crystal. It is even more pronounced than the Timex Marlin or the Max Bill. It is craziness. That just looks amazing. And again, that humming is so crazy. If you get one of these and you have a large table or a desk with not much sitting on it. If you set this watch down on that, the humming gets really loud, and you can hear it when you're nowhere near the watch. It is so crazy. This watch is super cool. As you can see, the lume on these hands is functional, and it's pretty cool because you can see that glow reflecting off of the movement beneath them. The crystal is not lumed, but the hands are, so that's something. Very cool. They're decently bright. Looks like there might be a little chunk missing in one of them though, on the minute's hand. But that's still pretty cool. So there you have it, the iconic and historic Accutron Spaceview. This watch is so phenomenal. It is the embodiment of mid-century retrofuturism, all the things that I love. Thanks for watching.